Scott thinks this, but not in words. In his brain are images and sounds. A sudden downward pitch, the panicked stench of burning metal, screams, a woman bleeding from the head, broken glass glittering against her skin, and how everything that wasn't tied down seemed to float for an endless moment as time slowed. A wine bottle, a woman's purse, a little girl's iPhone. Plates of food hovering in midair, spinning gently, entrees still in place, and then the screech of metal on metal, and the barrel roll of Scott's world ripping itself to pieces. A wave smacks him in the face, and he kicks his feet to try to get higher in the water. His shoes are dragging him down, so he loses them, then forces his way out of his salt-soaked chinos. He shivers in the cold Atlantic current, treading water, legs scissoring, arms pushing the ocean away in hard swirls. The waves are quilted with froth, not the hard triangles of children's drawings, but fractals of water, tiny waves stacking into larger ones. Out in the open water, they come at him from all directions, like a pack of wolves testing his defenses. The dying fire animates them, gives them faces of sinister intent. Scott treads his way into a 360-degree turn. Around him he sees humps of jagged wreckage bobbing, pieces of fuselage, a stretch of wing. The floating gasoline has already dissipated or burned down. Soon, everything will be dark. Fighting panic, Scott tries to assess the situation. The fact that it's August is in his favor. Right now, the temperature of the Atlantic is maybe 65 degrees, cold enough for hypothermia, but warm enough to give him time to reach shore, if that's possible, if he's even close. "Hey!" he shouts, turning himself in the water. "I'm here! I'm alive!" There have to be other survivors, he thinks. How can a plane crash and only one person survive? He thinks about the woman sitting next to him, the banker's chatty wife. He thinks about Maggie with her summer smile. He thinks about the children. Fuck. There were children. 2, yes? A boy and a girl. How old? The girl was bigger. 10, maybe? But the boy was small. A toddler still. "Hello!" he shouts with added urgency, swimming now toward the biggest piece of wreckage. It looks like part of a wing. When he reaches it, the metal is hot to the touch, and he kicks away hard, not wanting to get swept onto it by the waves and burned. Did the plane break up on impact, he wonders? Or did it crack open on the way down, spilling passengers? It seems impossible that he doesn't know, but the data stream of memory is clogged with indecipherable fragments, pictures with no order, and right now he has no time to try to clarify anything. Squinting in the dark, Scott feels himself rising suddenly on a heavy wave. He struggles to stay on top of it, realizing he can no longer avoid the obvious. Straining to stay afloat, he feels something in his left shoulder pop. The ache he endured post-crash becomes a knife that cuts through him whenever he raises his left arm above his head. Kicking his legs, he tries to stretch the pain away like you would a cramp, but it's clear something in the socket is torn or broken. He will have to be careful. He still has partial motion, can manage a decent breaststroke, but if the shoulder gets worse, he could find himself a one-armed man, adrift, injured. A tiny fish in the saltwater belly of a whale. It occurs to him then that he may be bleeding. And that's when the word sharks enters his mind. For a moment there is nothing but pure animal panic. Higher reason evaporates. His heart rate soars, legs kicking wildly. He swallows salt water and starts to cough. "Stop," he tells himself. "Slow down. If you panic right now, you will die." He forces himself to be calm.